When it comes to pump-action shotguns, names like the Remington 870 and Mossberg 500 always steal the spotlight. But what about the lesser-known gems, the models that deliver performance, reliability, and unique features, yet rarely get the credit they deserve? Today, we're shining a light on 7 of the most underrated pump-action shotguns of all time. These aren't just forgotten relics, they're shotguns that still deserve respect. Let's dive in. Kicking off our list is the Ithaca Model 37, a shotgun that doesn't get nearly the love it should. What makes it stand out? It's all about the bottom ejection port, which spits spent shells straight down, not to the side, keeping your line of sight clear and your shooting experience cleaner overall. That unique ejection system also protects the action from dirt and debris, which means better long-term reliability. On the outside, the Model 37 looks just as good as it shoots, with a beautifully grained walnut stock and a deeply grooved pump forend for a solid grip, even when things get wet. The receiver features engraved hunting scenes that give it a touch of artistry, making this a shotgun that looks at home both in the field and in a collection. It's available in multiple gauges, 12, 16, 20, and even 28, with the 12-gauge being most common. Barrel lengths come in 24-inch, 26, and 30 inches, all featuring ventilated ribs for a cleaner sight picture. With its aesthetics, versatility, and solid performance, the Ithaca 37 is far from outdated. It's a hidden gem that deserves way more attention. At number 6, we've got the Winchester Model 25, a shotgun often lost in the shadow of its more famous sibling, the Model 12. Built as a simpler, more budget-friendly alternative, the Model 25 still packed a punch and had its own strong points. It came chambered in 12-gauge with barrel options from 26 to 30 inches, making it adaptable for hunting, sport shooting, or home defense. Plus, with a selection of chokes from improved cylinder to full, it was surprisingly versatile right out of the box. The Model 25 featured a solid steel frame that held up well under heavy use. Its only real downside? It wasn't easy to break down for cleaning or storage. But with a 6-round capacity, it actually beat out many of today's shotguns, which often hold just 4 or 5 shells. Produced between 1949 and 1954, it didn't stick around long, but in that short run, it proved itself as a rugged, reliable shotgun. If you ever come across one, don't overlook it. The Model 25 may be forgotten by some, but it still deserves respect. Ever heard of the Marlin Model 120? You're not alone if you haven't. It's a shotgun that quietly faded into the background. But that doesn't mean it didn't have some standout qualities. Yes, it was heavy, around 8 pounds for the 12-gauge version, and yes, it had some durability issues with its action bars. But where it shined was in its unusual barrel length. The 40-inch version gave it an impressive range and accuracy, something you won't find on most pump actions. Made with an all-steel build and paired with a checkered walnut stock, it felt solid and well-made. It could hold 5 rounds of 2.75-inch shells or 4 rounds of 3-inch shells. Plenty for most shooting scenarios. Unfortunately, it never reached mainstream success. But for collectors or fans of unique vintage firearms, the Marlin 120 offers a rare combo of classic style and long-range capability. If you spot one in good condition, it's definitely worth a second look. Sliding in at number 4 is the Winchester Model 1897, a historic shotgun that brought some truly unique features to the table and was way ahead of its time. The most recognizable? That external hammer, giving it a single-action revolver vibe in shotgun form. But what really made it special was its slam-fire capability. Just hold down the trigger and rack the action, and it'll keep firing as fast as you can pump. That made it an absolute force in close quarters, especially in World War I trench warfare. Available in both 12 and 16 gauge, the Model 1897 offered barrel lengths from 20 to 30 inches, giving users a ton of options depending on how they planned to use it. It also came in 2 versions, the solid frame and the takedown model, the latter of which made storage and maintenance a breeze. With a 6-shot capacity and the ability to fire rapidly, the 1897 was a powerhouse in its day, and still earns major respect from collectors and enthusiasts today. It may no longer be in production, but it remains a foundational piece of pump-action history. Coming in at number 3, we've got the Mossberg 200K, a vintage shotgun that's seriously underrated and often forgotten. If you're into collecting unique firearms, this one's definitely worth your attention. One of its most interesting features was the detachable box magazine, which held 3 12-gauge shells. But here's the cool part. You could top it off with 2 more shells directly through the top, without removing the mag. That gave it a bit more flexibility than your average pump. It also had a tang-mounted safety, easy to reach with either hand, and a ported barrel to help reduce felt recoil. The flat rib sight made quick target acquisition simple and smooth. The 200K came with a 28-inch barrel, offering a nice balance between range and maneuverability. It also featured an adjustable choke, letting you fine-tune your pattern based on your shooting needs. Weighing in at about 7 pounds 7 ounce, it was comfortable enough to carry on long hunts or range days. Even though it's out of production, you might still find one through collectors or auctions, and it'd make a great addition to any collection. Next up is the Smith & Wesson 3000, a shotgun that had everything going for it: performance, balance, and style, but never got the spotlight it deserved. This shotgun just felt right in the hands. It had excellent balance and natural pointability, which made it easy to shoulder and quick to aim. It came in multiple configurations, from standard field use to slug models and even tactical builds. The slug version offered a magazine extension for extra capacity and optional open sights for tighter, more accurate shot placement. Built with cold hammer-forged barrels and fixed choke options, the 3000 was ready for anything from clay shooting to game hunting. It also featured dual-action bars, making the pump cycle incredibly smooth and reliable, almost jam-proof. The receiver was milled from solid steel, making it incredibly tough and durable. And let's not overlook the looks. The checkered American walnut stock was rich, elegant, and gave a secure grip in any condition. The Model 3000 may have flown under the radar during its short production run, but it definitely holds its own among the best pump actions ever made. And finally, at number 1, we've got the Remington Model 31, one of the most underappreciated pump-action shotguns of all time. This was Remington's first side-ejecting pump, which was a big deal back in the day. It kicked shells out to the side, keeping your line of sight clear and making reloads and follow-up shots quicker and cleaner. Early versions came with a classic walnut stock and checkered fore-end for grip, while later models offered a ribbed fore-end for faster handling, especially useful in high-paced shooting scenarios. The Model 31 was offered in 12, 16, and 20 gauge, giving shooters plenty of options. It also featured a super convenient quick-release barrel, which could be removed in seconds using a simple knurled nut. Great for cleaning or swapping barrels in the field, but what really sets it apart? The Model 31 was released in 35 different variants and grades, including higher-end versions with factory engraving and ventilated ribs for improved aim and control. Despite its brilliance, the Model 31 had a short production run and got overshadowed by newer designs. But if you ever come across one, don't pass it up. It's a true sleeper classic. So there you have it. 7 pump-action shotguns that may not be household names, but absolutely deserve more love. Each one brought something special to the table, whether it was innovative features, solid craftsmanship, or just plain reliability. If you spot one of these underrated models in the wild, don't hesitate to add it to your collection. Who knows, it might just become your new favorite. That's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss more hidden gems in the world of firearms. Take care, and we'll catch you next time.